Welcome to the first episode of The Towers Tonight Show, Bishop's #1 broadcast. If you haven't heard of us, The Tonight Show is a place that brings you updates on all the happenings around campus and implements our founding mission of telling stories that matter.
As our broadcast begins, we want to first give our viewers an update on The Tonight Show's status this year, as we have some exciting news. We are looking to grow and thus are currently recruiting. Any and all positions are welcome, you name it, editor, filmer, writer, field reporter, or even co-host. No positions are off limits, we mean it. You may have seen our emails or in the bulletin, noticed our posters around campus, or visited our booth at the club fair. These are all ways we have successfully begun building the new Tonight Show team, and will continue to in the future.
With that in mind, this episode marks a special occasion because it's the first we've done with our current and new Tonight Show staff. They worked so hard to learn and help with stories in this episode, so keep watching to view the wonderful work they did. And if you're interested in joining the wonderful broadcast team, shoot Ben or me an email. I'm your co-anchor, Summer Who.
And I'm your other co-anchor, Ben Brown. And the Tonight Show
starts right now.
In this episode, you'll hear from our new team about Ms. Christine Rivera, our new Director of Food Service, the exciting school year plans of the prominent service club, the Lucky Ducklings, our new Director of DEIJ, Ms. Valissa Thomas, and more.
But first, here's an update for all the fall sports.
Girls varsity volleyball had a dominant start, winning a game last Thursday against Classical Academy High School. Look out in the bulletin for their flurry of upcoming games. Girls varsity field hockey has also been dominant. Come out to Hunt Field at 4 p.m. this Tuesday to see them play Point Loma High School. The girls varsity tennis team has notably grown threefold this season, and their presence is being felt in the Coastal Division as they start their year with a winning 3-1 record. They compete this Thursday at 3:30 at La Jolla Country Day in a huge rivalry matchup.
Also, get hyped for the boys varsity water polo team, who's looking to repeat their championship season from last year. They have started immaculately once again and hope to bring their dominance to the Elite 10 tournament at Harvard Westlake this Thursday. Very exciting is the huge football game coming up this Saturday, September 30th at 7 p.m. Get dressed in red, white, and blue because the theme is USA. Our Knights take on the La Jolla Country Day Tories. And believe it or not, the game will be recorded and broadcasted live on television. So Knights, let's make sure to fill the student section with school spirit.
We hope you come out and cheer on your fellow Knights. Go Knights! Mr. Roboto, who Summer knows, holds nothing against our robotics team. This summer, the robotics team traveled to Bordeaux, France to compete in an international competition. Let's hear more from field reporter Nirvana Stremangle. Nirvana?
Thank you, Summer and Ben. This summer, the robotics team competed in France to show off their skills abroad. We talked to members of the robotics team and Dr. J to learn more about why the robotics team loves robotics and what they did.
I'm Dr. J. I'm the chair of computer science. I teach computer science and I coach the robotics team, and I co-chair the creative sciences with Dr. Keller. So it's a competition I competed in a few times in my previous school. This is the first time doing it in person with Bishops. We've competed virtually a couple times before. So the competition was in Bordeaux, France. It was a 4-day competition. The first 2 days were prelims. The third day was finals, and then the fourth day was a sort of super teams event, they call it, where they have multiple teams get together to do a common challenge.
So the event we do is called RMRC, which stands for Rapidly Manufactured Robot Challenge, and the goal is to design an inexpensive robot that could be used in like real-life natural disasters.
Yeah, and so there's 2 different divisions, one for like college and grad school, or I think college can do either, and they make bigger robots, and then the goal of ours, which is like a high school and college division, like undergrad, is to create like smaller companion robots that in theory could like go along with the big robots and like get into places that they couldn't.
Yeah, so the challenges we do are things like driving on gravel or driving on sand, because that's kind of meant to replicate what you would see in a real life natural disaster.
We try out different terrains on different days. We had sort of an agenda of, we want to do better at this. We tried it. It didn't go that well. We thought we could do better, so we're going to try it again. But one of the things I was really impressed with our students was every session we got better than we were in the previous session. They were able to adapt to the environment, see what they were doing wasn't going well, and modify the robot, modify the code, modify it physically to get it to work better in the next session.
The entire robot is designed in CAD, which stands for computer-aided design, and we have a 3-dimensional model of the entire robot, including every single screw and nut and every single component on the robot. And that allows us to visualize the robot, how it's going to look, how it's going to perform, and then we are able to simulate it before we even build the actual thing.
Okay. For driving, we use the system of WASD, and although we also tested having a PS4 controller, but we also used, initially we also started with Raspberry Pi cameras, and then we moved to a fisheye lens.
I think they got a real sense of what's possible. I think it was really hard for them before they went to the big event to actually really feel like they could see the possibilities of where they were going with it. I think they got a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of interest out of it, and so everybody's really psyched to get rolling and work on next year's robot and do better next year. They're excited to get other people involved and share some of that enthusiasm, share some of that knowledge with the other students in the school.
Hopefully next year the competition, it's in the Netherlands. Yeah, so our hope is to go to that as well, because it was a really awesome experience, and because it's an international competition, part of the reason why we all really enjoyed it is because you got to meet so many international teams. So yeah, we're hoping to go to the competition again so we can meet these teams.
Yeah, and obviously apart from the experience, we also want to like improve our robot and get better at some of the challenges that we struggled on this time, and hopefully get better, keep improving.
Thank you for that coverage by new field reporter Nirvana Shremangle and editor Rowan Harmon. In other exciting news, Bish Bowl is right around the corner. With a festive mood of community barbecues, athletic events, and time with friends, we encourage everyone to make it out there for this annual tradition on October 6th. That evening, the football team will take on Escondido Charter High School at 7 p.m. at La Jolla High. You won't want to miss any of it.
It's been a few days since the service fair, and there's one service club that consistently makes an impact in our community. Sophomore Cindy Mufong will tell us more about this year's plans for the Lucky Ducklings.
Thanks, Summer. I'm Sydney Mufong, and we'll be interviewing Miss Gomez and Adelaide Kessler about the Lucky Ducklings Club at Bishop's. They are partnered with the Lucky Duck Foundation, a nonprofit organization founded in San Diego dedicated to helping the homeless community in San Diego. Let's take a closer look at what they've done and their plans for this upcoming school year.
Yeah, we actually did a new student food and water packing project at the beginning of the year before school started. All of our new students came to the Draper lot. We packed 3,000 food and water bags, and we are actually going to be doing that the day after Martin Luther King Day as an entire school on the quad. So new students got to participate in that, and then the entire school is going to be able to do that in January. So I'm really excited about that. So coming up on October 16th, we are going to be having a guest speaker named Stedman Graham, who is Oprah Winfrey's boyfriend. He has written several books, and one of his books is on leadership identity. It's free to our whole Bishop's community.
Everyone from athletes to leaders to students and teachers in our community are welcome to join Lucky Ducklings in the gym from 6 to 7:30. Another project that the Lucky Ducklings have planned is a dance in February. Here's Adelaide Kessler to tell you a little bit more.
So what we're going to do is have your ticket either be like a certain price you pay, or you can actually give your like old dresses in as a ticket, which will help will donate to homeless youth, which will help them for their schools, and then also stops fast fashion.
I'm just excited, again, for a great year, and I hope that the community can get even more involved. Just because that you're not in the committee or on the committee doesn't mean that you can't be involved in what we do. So I'm really excited for the year.
We are Sydney Mafong, Penelope Fountain, and Kaylin Schwan, reporting for the Tonight Show. Anchors, back to you.
Thank you, Sydney Mafong, Kaylin Schwan, Abigail Way, and Penelope Fountain for all of that great coverage. Coming back to Bishop, a reminder that we always have to have a Spirit Week leading up to the fun Friday festivities. Get ready for a packed week based on your favorite movies and TV shows. Dust off your jerseys because Monday is All-American, followed by a blast from the past on Tuesday's Back to the Future theme. Wednesday is Barbenheimer, you know the drill.
I'm on Oppenheimer myself.
You're kin enough. And Thursday is Team Beach and Tacky Tourist themes. Spirit Week ends with blackout on Bishop Day, so make sure to show that school spirit.
In other news, I have a question for all of you. Have you noticed anything different about the school menu this year? Well, that's because there's a new mastermind, master chef, behind the change. Meet Miss Christine Rivera, who takes on a kitchen led for decades until last spring by the legendary Miss Sweet. Let's get to know Miss Rivera with sophomores Noan Cheng, David Hong, and junior Naveen Velamuma.
Thanks, Ben. Hello, I'm Noan, reporting the situation. Following the retirement of her predecessor, Miss Sweet, at the end of last year, the new Director of Food Services, Miss Christine Rivera, is kicking off the year strong. Previously working at Cruises at the Cove, Galaxy Taco, and Sandpiper, she now has big plans for Bishops. But let's hear more from the celebrity chef herself.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Miss Rivera, the new head chef for the kitchen. What is your vision for this food service program at Bishop's?
My vision is to create a great menu that everybody can enjoy, and it hits all the points. Like, it's delicious, it's nutritious, it's fresh, it's flavorful. So I'm not necessarily like, there's no set guideline. It's really like, you know, what the chefs that work here want to cook. You know, it's just, we try to make it like as we're feeding our family.
Right. So a lot of collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a one-person show. Like, it takes the production that we do every day.
We are Noan Cheng, David Hong, and Naveen Velamuma working at the Tonight Show. Summer and Ben, back to you.
Thank you, Noan, David, and Naveen. Back to our Bishop Week previews. As the high schoolers know, we've of course got to end Spirit Week and Bishop with homecoming. Get ready for a very orange, red, and yellow night because the theme is Sunset Nights. Like, you know, like nights. This year, ASBC booked the new Children's Museum in downtown to enjoy the night. There's even a slide.
Whatever that means.
Tickets are $40 right now and will increase to $50 on October 2nd. So make sure to grab those tickets as soon as you get the chance.
For our last story, Miss Valissa Thomas joins Bishop's as the new director of DEIJ after Mr. Thompson's departure last spring. Sophomore Ren Harmon brings us more. Ren?
Thanks, Summer. Just inside a section of the Student Center, Miss Valissa Thomas, the school's new Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Justice, works to tirelessly provide exciting ideas and leadership to DEIJ this year. Ms. Thomas has previously worked at Francis Parker and now brings her experience to Bishop's. Let's not waste any time and get to know our new Jedi Master.
My name is Miss Valissa Thomas, but people call me Miss Thomas, and I am the new and incoming Director of DEIJ here at Bishop's.
Ms. Thomas's goal with DEIJ is to preserve the parts of the program that she feels are working well for the Bishop's community and improve on the areas that aren't meeting our needs. As Ms. Thomas learns more and acclimates about the Bishop community, you can expect to see some different changes to our DEIJ program.
I think I'm looking forward to, one, just seeing the season of the year, right? Like, what are the really beautiful moments? What are the challenging moments in the year? What are ways that I can continue to hold on to what has worked well in the DEIJ program, and think about how to evolve things. So when I'm thinking of, again, advisory, like how do we take advisory lessons to the next step? How do we start to form more affinity groups? Something I'm thinking about creating or establishing our mental health affinity groups. So students that want to connect with other students around mental health issues. I have a student that came in that wanted to do kind of like a neurodiverse learning affinity group, right? And so I want to continue to tap into students that are still trying to find their sense of belonging and create clubs or create lessons or just create learning moments for the whole school to move forward and to be even more inclusive.
Thank you, Ren Harmon and Tommy Michael, for that story.
Well, Bishops, that is all we have for this episode. Thanks for tuning in to our broadcast.
Keep updated for our next news broadcast by looking for our link in the bulletin, Tower newsletter, and our YouTube channel every 2 weeks. Additionally, if you ever have any news or highlights you feel we should cover or are interested in joining our team, which you should, please email Summer, me, or thetower@bishops.com. I'm Ben Brown.
I'm Summer Hu, and this is The Tonight Show. We are your two Knights, signing off.